in front of people because you're in front of people all day long.
Right,
And
right.
that got me groomed for this. So
Yeah, yeah. I Devil's Lake, Wisconsin, over by Baraboo, which was what got me onto this. I is or was a place where the Chicago Mountain would
You're muted.
where the, I know where the Chicago I hit the enter key on my keyboard was what happened. I the Chicago Mountaineering Club would do some of their practices up at Devil's Lake with the sandstone bluffs. I think those bluffs have deteriorated a lot
actually,
since then. What?
I wanted to clarify. Actually, Devil's Lake is not sandstone. It's Baraboo quartzite. And it's actually part of a syncline. It's one of the oldest materials on the planet.
Yeah.
Other than the stuff you find in Australia, this is the next level in terms of it's the oldest rock on the continent in the northern continent, the northern hemisphere. It's the oldest rock, and
Yeah.
it's in Baraboo, and it's a syncline, so it's a bowl like this that comes up at Baraboo, and then goes underneath into the Earth's crust and comes up in the northern shield in Canada. So I'm sorry,
Yeah.
I didn't mean that it's not
No,
soft.
actually there's two kinds of rock up there. There's the hard stuff that you're talking about, the quartzite, but there's also softer stone that has been called sandstone.
Right. There's a dolomitic limestone that's up there.
All right.
That's, with some of the surrounding areas and rocks that help give the dells their look.
Yeah.
You're talking to a guy. This is what I studied in college was Baraboo, Wisconsin, and Devil's Lake area. That's
Yeah.
spent a whole week up there in my geomorphology class studying that. Anyway, I don't mean to bore you guys with technical stuff.
But anyway, around the lake, there are harder spots and there are softer spots in the rock.
Yes,
and it's where there were softer spots that the climbing practice really destroyed the place.
Sure.
The harder rock fared a little better, but they, I think at some point they decided there was just too much climbing going on up there.
Yes, they did. But I did quite a bit of climbing there myself and rappelling and rescue. One time, my buddy and I, we were just getting ready to do an ascent and climbing. We were setting up our ropes and we're down at the bottom. And next thing we know is we hear, and somebody come tumbling down. And a girl fell probably about 40 feet from the top to the bottom. And we happened to be right there when she fell. So we're administering first aid to somebody that lost their step.
Yeah. On one of our outings, a woman got hit in the head with a falling rock and she didn't have her helmet on.
Ooh.
And she was killed.
Oh, that's a sad thing to hear.
Yeah.
Very sad thing to hear. And with that note,
what?
And with that note, let's start our meeting tonight. Sorry, it's a bad subject, Bob.
Yeah. I'm sorry I left it that way.
Yeah, it's a bad subject to start out with. Okay, so I'd like to welcome everybody to November edition of the West Side Computer Club. We'll have our open forum. I think we're going to have some speeches or some discussions that got to be happen too. Remembrance of Jerry. And I think we lucked out to have one of our members step forward and say that they would do a presentation tonight. Thank you, Mr. Bill Powell. You get a gold star tonight. Okay, so
I'd rather have a cookie.
Bill, if I could, I'd run a chocolate chip cookie over to you or something like that, but it'd take me about a half hour to get down to you. Did someone want to grab the meeting from me before I start? Bert, Stan?
I can start if you want.
Sure.
I just thought we should have a few moments of silence for Jerry. But before that, I'd like to say that Jerry has been a very big influence in my life because I have known him for many, many years. And I first met him way back when my son was in the Boy Scouts. And he was the committee chair. And of course, we got to know one another. Later, I became the scoutmaster, and we would travel together with the boys and all over the country. And it was just a lot of fun. But after 1985, I started up the West Side chapter. And I never mentioned to him that there was such a thing as the Chicago Computer Society. And one time we were talking, we were in our tents someplace, and I was talking about, oh yeah, we have this computer group, Chicago Computer Society. And I was telling him how that got started and what it was. And he said, oh, I'm interested in that. And so I said, well, come on to the meetings. And that's kind of how it started. I used to go up to Union Oil back in, the 80s, 83, 4. West Side started in 1985. I don't remember when Jerry joined, but it was about 10 years later, as I remember. We got together and went to AppCud, and we would bring these big shopping bags, and we'd fill them full of free software. Remember those days? And then we bring them back to the Chicago or to the West Side, and we'd pass them out to the members who were there, or we'd have them as prizes or something like that. Jerry got me started recording video. We met up at Fry's, and he was looking for a video recorder, and he didn't buy one, but I bought 2 of them. So I thought that was pretty interesting. And I've been doing a lot with videos since then. Of course, with West Side, I went with him to Costco, and we would put on the Christmas party, that kind of thing. And he was, for a while there, our open forum leader in the early days. And then Sanford came in, and there were two or three other guys.
No, sorry.
Well, and then when Jerry, when I retired, I was, could not find programs. So Jerry said, well, you know what? There's this group, AppCud, that, we have access to. And that he said he would be willing to look through that and to come up with programming. And so for many years now, he has been our program person. And of course, I was serving cookies and coffee. That's the extent of my involvement. So we had a great time, and I'm going to miss this guy a lot. I'd like to have about 30 seconds or a minute of silence now, just remembering Jerry. And then if you would, come in and talk about Jerry, something that you know about that I probably don't. So let's just remain silent. Okay, thank you very much. If anybody has anything that they would like to add, please feel free. This is the time to do it. Take a few minutes here.
I always loved when Jerry would go and do his presentations, and he'd turn on his laptop or his computer and fire it up, and we'd look at the screen, and we get to see his wonderful desktop that had not one extra icon, not 20 extra icons, probably about 50 extra icons on that thing of programs. And I'm like, how the hell does somebody keep track of all this? And it just amazes me how much software that gentleman had sifted through in his lifetime. I can't even fathom how many programs he's tested out and just saw how they worked and still utilize probably 50 to 100 of them.
Yeah. He was my go-to guy. I
He was,
couldn't recall if I was in trouble.
yeah. He's a digital pack rat. I could say that for sure.
Yep.
I think it's amazing that in his last days, his mind was as sharp as it was, and he kept up with practically everything we were doing,
He
and
did.
still was able to put together stuff and make things work for the meetings. And among all of his other problems and going to treatments and one thing or another, he still managed to cover all that stuff
Absolutely.
better than I ever keep track of things.
Well, he used his laptop during his transfusions to do his computer work, which is interesting. He had his laptop with him.
One thing I can say about Jerry with regard to that wonderful desktop of his, he always knew where things were.
Yep.
He could always keep things organized, even though it looked like everything was laid out in a random way. It wasn't random to him.
Organized chaos.
You know, on him using that during his chemo, I always sort of got the impression that, in a way, that was, soothing for him. It's, got his mind off of it, got him through it.
I think that's true.
I remember we used to have board meetings at McDonald's headquarters in Oak Brook, and he provided, access. We even had free Cokes at the site, and he also did so many things in terms of special events, like the McDonald's University program we had, where we had, along with APCUG, lots of vendors and lots of giveaways. He really always worked hard to be able to make everything happen. All it takes volunteers, and being a nonprofit group, everybody chips in to be able to make everything happen. The list on the screen is all the different positions that Jerry held for 31 years. Stan, you got him involved, and look what happened. So, aside from the website, APCUG liaison, vendor liaison, then more recently handling the Zoom meeting coordination, it really kept lots of our organization going. And Jerry attended the board meeting, the last board meeting. About halfway through, he didn't feel well and left the group, and I think it's only a day or two later that he passed. So certainly our group meant something to him, and he gave us a huge amount of effort to be able to keep the Chicago Computer Society going. So we thank him.
If no one else, then Sanford, why don't you take over?
Okay. Anyone else want to make a step up to the mic? All right. I will stop sharing this. And let's start out with our open forum. Anyone have a question they'd like to present to the group tonight? None. And you guys have no computer problems. It's truly amazing. Yes, Bill.
Yeah, it's
Are,
just,
are you shooing the flies away or cleaning
yeah,
the screen
I
or?
am. I just have a comment. I got a surprise for a Comcast bill increase of $50 a month. And so I called them and talked to them quite a bit. And bottom line, of course, is they dropped the price. But in the conversation, I found out that they have a special promo right now. I don't know how long it's on. If you hook up with your cell phone with them, they will give you $10 off a month off your Comcast bill. You know, the cell phone, for one cell phone, it was $17.77 a month, but I'm already paying $12.50 a month. So it's only $5 more. And they'll give you a $200 gift card for signing up. So, and if you bought two lines, which I almost did, but my wife is on a grandfather clause plan that's so good that I hate to get rid of it. Anyway, two lines are $30 a month, and it's with 30 gig sharing. So you have to be not use the phone a lot, which I don't. So I think it's going to work out okay for me. But I just thought I'd pass that on if anybody was interested.
So it's how much a month?
Well, like I say, you get $10 off your Comcast bill for doing it.
Okay.
$17.77 a month. Then they give you a $200 gift card, and it's for 1 gig a month. So it's not a lot of data. And I think I don't remember, it's unlimited voice and text, I believe. I don't remember.
Okay.
Anyway,
1 gig of data is
I don't use it
definitely a
that
lot.
much. So, and if you went for two phones, it was 30 for 3 gigs.
They use a Verizon network too.
Yes, they do. You're right.
Yeah, there's two different technologies of your cell phones.
I asked them that, Wayne. I said, how's the service? They said they use
That's why I checked. Yeah, and I found out I couldn't switch over. I couldn't use my phone.
Okay.
What are they using? The old CDMA or what? LTE?
Yeah, whatever it is, it's opposite of what I've got. I've got AT&T.
Okay.
Well,
Anyway,
they went down
Everybody
again
was using
because
AT&T
for a long
also.
time. No, I was going to say for a long time they were at $30 a line, so they went down again, plus a gift card.
Plus, yeah, $200 gift card. That gives me my phone for free for like 3 years.
Anyone else got any comment on that?
Well, in terms of the data, I seldom use more than 100 megabytes in a month. I don't do much with the phone.
Then you need to do much more with your phone.
No, what I've got is a third tier repackager, US Mobile, and that I can choose my plan. Currently, I'm paying about $13-14 a month.
That's cheap.
Yeah, it is, but it's not very much service.
Right.
Then again, you don't travel a lot either. You stay in your metro area.
I do, but even if I were traveling, I wouldn't be using up the full amount. I doubt that I would anyway. Most of the texting takes place as a result of my volunteer activities.
On my AT&T phone, I can use Wi-Fi, so I don't have to actually use the network. And I was over in France, a couple of weeks ago, and I got calls because I was using the Wi-Fi in the hotel.
Wayne, did you use a VPN while you were over there?
No. But I wasn't calling, I got calls, but I wasn't making outgoing calls.
But you used data though, right?
Yeah.
You went online and did stuff through the Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I've got one of those free VPNs. I think it's 111 or whatever it is that I've got one of those apps.
Okay. Tony, are you comfortable yet?
No, my neck is bothering me.
I could tell that. It hurts me to look at your neck bothering you like that. You,
Well,
you need
Tony,
somebody to come over there and give you one of these little massage things.
Yes. Yes. Send her over.
Tony should try doing what I did a day or two ago.
What is that?
Get my booster for COVID. I got Moderna, so
Oh.
my arm was really sore for a day.
Yeah, me
What is
too.
What does that have to do with the neck? He needs a neck massage.
In fact,
Well, what I'm saying is, we all have things that kind of cause aches and pains from time to time.
Easy now. Listen. Is this?
But I do feel for you, Tony. It looks painful.
Oh, it looks
Ah.
terribly painful.
Guys, it's something
I
else.
did a double shot this morning. No, flu shot, the Pfizer shot.
Oh, good job. Bada
Mm.
boom,
Yeah.
bada bang.
I did Moderna because some people were insisting I had to do it before I see them at Thanksgiving. But anyway, getting back on topic.
Let's stay on topic. Let's stay on topic. Okay. New question, new direction. Nobody bought anything new lately. Wow. Okay.
Yes,
Well,
Nick.
it isn't.
Really, I asked this one kind of throwing you guys for a loop. Anyone buy anything new?
Yes. Finally,
Aldo, what do you got?
I got a photo scanner. Okay, they say wait until you're retired when you get all your photos together and then you
Yeah.
can organize. Okay, I went digital about 20 years ago, but prior to that, like everybody else, I got tons and tons of photos, right? Pictures. So I said, okay, so that's what I got. I got a little photo scanner, and now I got to read up on labeling and how to do everything. When I first got it, I plugged it in, got the download. The driver did not work. Didn't work. I said, bummer. So I did a few things. Finally went to the system, went to Epson, and got an update, and that did the trick. So now it's working. So
Okay,
I got
so
a project.
Aldo, what
How
is
much?
Pardon me?
What make and how much?
It's Epson V39, and for less than 100.
B39?
V as in Victor, 39.
You got a batch feed or one by one?
Gotta do it one by one. There
Oh,
were
Aldo.
options, right? So I figured, hey, I'm retired. I got free time. Yeah.
Aldo,
Yes.
how many pictures do you have to do?
I had 3 shoe boxes, so it'd be
Oh,
about three
Okay,
three
that's all
thousand.
you got? All right, then you'll do fine with a flatbed scanner.
With that, yes, with a digital is like 30,000. So, and there's one of mine in the background. So,
Guys, give me a
There's
mo-
a company that you can go to. You send them a box full of your stuff. They'll scan it with a high-speed scanner and send it back to you within a week.
and I'll be bored stiff all day. So
You
yes,
probably
What-
you'll be spending your time looking at the pictures that you have and cataloging them so that everybody else knows what they are.
yes, yeah. So I'm reading up on it. There's a whole bunch of options, possibilities, albums for the family and whatnot. So yeah.
Well, you could follow the same sorting principle that you were currently using for your digitals, and you could just throw it into it, or you can do a side by side because you're going to have the digital ones, and then you could have a reclassification of the scanned ones that you could possibly use. I don't know if that's an option for you as a way of thinking it through it.
I'm working on it. What I did originally was I got my little camera and I took a lot of the photographs and I propped them up and took a picture of the picture. And 9 out of 10 really nice and sharp, but then the 10% blurry or whatnot, out of focus. So I figured, okay, in the future, when I get time, I'll get something and get it organized and do it. And voila, it is here, the time.
Okay, so the next thing you, well, at least my opinion, is you also should have some photo editing software in place.
Yes, got it.
Now, I use Photoshop Elements because it's easy to use. I don't know what you're going to use.
I got that.
Okay, so there's only like 4 things that I do to scan photos, maybe 5. There's a smart fix that you could do. I'll do a color adjustment, and I'll sometimes do a sharpening mask, or I'll do a shake eliminate. There's a shake eliminator function. It's a script that's built in there, and that's more intense. But you'll find on some of your old photos that works really good at bringing up the quality of the blurred scanned images.
Okay.
However, it can backfire you because if your original photo was ones that were done on like a matte or an eggshell print that have an uneven surface to it for a little more muted print look, those you'll get the surface structure of the photo instead of just the photo that you're seeing. Okay. So that can backfire on you. So Aldo, I can walk you through this real quick and show you what I do, because I've done literally thousands of scanned photos, and I have thousands more left to edit of scanned photos. So, and it's an ongoing process, but I found it is absolutely most rewarding to go through those old photos and bring them up and make them look better. Whether you got to recrop them sometimes, because maybe there's extraneous stuff in there you don't really need to get an emphasis of, or just, adjusting the contrast of them, make even an old black and whites look really good. So,
That on Fujitsu?
no, I'm sorry, YouTube?
No, was that a Fujitsu that you had for scanner?
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I am using that Fujitsu document scanner, and because that one I could do lots of photos all at once. Unlike Aldo, who's got to do one at a time, I had probably 5,000 photos to scan, and my brothers just gave me boxes and literally boxes more of our family stuff that needs to be scanned that came from my mom and from my grandmother and blah, blah, blah. And I got much more to go through and figure these things out. So, anyways, Bill he's impatient. Yes, Bill.
Photoshop Elements is next month's program.
Photoshop, yes. Where?
Here.
No, really? Who's doing that one? You are? Me?
No.
Oh,
You.
no. Actually, we've got a presenter for next month.
Okay.
But I'm happy to do this Photoshop
Aldo,
Elements.
here's the cheap and expensive way to do it.
Okay.
I built this out of just 1x2s, and I had a label on it. Oh, there it is. It's called the Webcam Overhead Projector Model WE1000, patent pending. And what I do with it, I've had this at the club once when I did a program. I just set my iPad on top of it and slide the pictures up, and it's real quick to do it this way.
Okay.
And the camera saves them, and then I just load them all into a folder and go, and then flip over the pictures and put on what's on there on the picture. So it's a cheap and dirty way. For as few as you got, it might work. And iPad cameras are pretty good.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's an option.
Okay, great.
How did you handle the lighting?
Well, I have overhead lighting. I didn't do any special things for lighting.
Did you get reflections or flare?
No, there is a program. I know I've talked about it. Let me see what the name of it is here. It's called, I think it's called Photo Scan. And what it does is you actually take 4 pictures in the 4 corners, and it eliminates the glare. It gives you a composite, eliminates the glare. So if you have problems with the glare, you can do that. Otherwise, you can set up lighting. I've seen people take a translucent umbrella and shine a bright floodlight into that and have that go down on the picture. That works. So whatever.
The thing that I did for copying photos was to use what's called cross polarization. You polarize your lens with just a little lens filter type arrangement that's a Polaroid item, and then you use plastic sheet polarized material, and you just cross polarize them. And you'd be surprised what you can get out of a picture that doesn't look very good.
Really?
Yeah, it just enhances everything. And you don't get any light problems or shine. And if you're doing a pearl surface or something with a little bit of, I don't know,
Texture.
like sandpapery kind of images, sometimes you run your hand over it and it's sandy, you know.
Yeah.
The cross polarization just takes that all out.
Oh, nice.
So
Nice.
Anyone else want to comment? Anyone else buy anything new?
No, I just want to mention in our travels, I've noticed in the last couple of years, there's hardly anybody now uses cameras. Everybody's using their phone.
Yeah.
Isn't it
And
ironic?
what I did on this last trip, I found how to use the edit on my iPhone, and it's great. You know, when I take pictures, sometimes it's not square or up, you know, and you can square it up so that if the horizontal or vertical lines are off, and also you can crop all right on the iPhone. You don't have
Yep.
to download them onto anything else.
And you can add text, lines, colors, change the texture of the print itself,
Yeah.
a number of things.
There's to further that, Wayne, I don't have the name of it, but there's software that you can buy that will give you much more features in your iPhone's
Okay.
camera's capabilities, where you can control the f-stop, the shutter
Yeah.
priority, aperture
yeah.
priority, HDR, which didn't exist, you know, on and on and on. A buddy of mine was using it, and I think he said it only cost him $10 for it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he says he uses that all the time now whenever he shoots with his iPhone. Wayne, that's a great observation. I made a note of that earlier this summer when I was out with my wife and we were at some public area, and I said, look, everybody here has cell phones, and I'm the only one walking around with the cameras.
Yeah.
And days gone by, it used to be the other way around.
Right.
Everyone carried a DSLR, and a few people carried their phones to take pictures. And those people that had DSLRs were looking at the people with the phones going, what are you doing? You know, you're giving up all this quality of pictures. Why are you using it with such a academic, you know, thing? But so did you bring your DSLR?
No, I don't have one. I use my phone. The last few trips, the last few years, I just use my phone.
All those DSLRs that are sitting in people's closets doing absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
I still use mine.
When was the last time you used it?
When?
Yes.
Yesterday.
Oh, good for you. Wow.
Mine, same thing, yesterday. Literally yesterday I used it.
I took mine out yesterday and I cleaned it and put it back up.
Is anybody using a film camera anymore?
Ooh.
Oh, what?
Ooh.
Talking about a movie camera?
No, just
no,
a
you're
regular
talking about
film,
film.
35 millimeter.
No, it's too fuzzy.
What is that?
Yeah.
Stan, do you remember in Deerfield once we had Kodak come and talk about the idea of a digital camera?
Yeah,
Look what happened with that.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's why their stock went down.
Yeah.
Because they didn't believe that digital was going to be any good. So they stayed with film and they made a
Yeah.
mistake. But they're coming back. It's just like Polaroid. You know, everybody was going like, hey, Polaroid, it's wonderful. And then nobody wanted Polaroid. And now they have newer Polaroid cameras that people are using.
And they take even smaller pictures.
Yes.
Yes.
They're like a postage stamp size, and then people love them.
Well, it's more for kids.
Yeah.
You know, the first camera, they get an instant picture. They don't have to wait a week like we used to have to wait. Finally, they did overnight processing, but you know, we don't need that anymore. We've got instant processing.
Yeah, there was a campus that belonged to Polaroid in Waltham, Massachusetts, and they had their main headquarters here, and they just simply were not able, because of their manufacturing process, they were not able to do anything with digital. They were so committed to the chemicals they were using and the films they were using. There wasn't any place else for them to go. And now we have a hole in the ground in one of our local hills where there would have been a Polaroid campus had it ever been built.
Oh my. I got a chance to use the biggest Polaroid camera I guess they ever made. It was like 1.5 feet by, it was like this big a sheet. Maybe it's 20 by 24, something like that. I don't remember.
Something like that.
Yeah, it was a really big, heavy thing, but we brought it in to do some special photography. And the pictures on it were phenomenal,
Yeah.
Today, I'm sure the digitals would beat it, but, it was instant.
I'm not sure digital would beat that even today. Whereas those big cameras were used in fashion photography and art photography. And I belong to a technology user group in Lexington, Massachusetts. And there are some members who actually were involved in some of this stuff, although many more of them were involved in Raytheon. Anyway, so that's the story on Polaroid. Yeah, people use their phones now.
Yeah, they do. Well, back when I was in my business of print production, we used to work with places that took the layouts that you'd use for printing, and they'd be on very, very large boards, and then they would shoot film of them, and the film would have to be at least something like 20 by 24 was the film. So you had a camera that basically was 2 rooms in length, and they'd have this big bellows that run across from one room to another, and all it was to keep everything dark. But they'd have one room where you'd have the subject in, and then 2 rooms later was where the camera is, and it just slid on this trolley back and forth. They were really impressive to see, but each one of them had to be made for that on site. That's not something they'd move. So it was pretty cool, but I can't find any images of them off the top real quick. If I do, I'll share it. Okay, next question. Direction. Anything? Anyone else buy anything? Tony, what'd you get?
I got a bottle of Merlot, and I took 2 shots today with it.
Okay. If you were talking some good tequila, I'd understand this, but
can't handle the tequila. It gives me the gout.
Oh, don't talk that gout stuff. Come on.
Okay, I take it back.
Okay. All right. Anybody else? Terry, you only see the top of your eyes again.
Terry.
He always likes to show us the top of his head.
Yep. Gilroy. Gilroy was here.
I don't want to scare you guys.
Every month, somebody's got to do that joke. Anyway, it wasn't exactly a computer, but I got my microwave oven replaced today.
Ooh.
It's got a computer in it.
Yeah, this one has more of a computer than the last one. Trouble is, the glass tray from the old microwave, they kept it and put it in the new oven, and it doesn't quite fit.
And what happened with the old glass tray?
This is the old glass tray.
What
But the
happened?
new oven, apparently, they decided not to provide the new glass tray with it. I don't know why. I mean, this is an apartment community, so you never know where this oven has been previously.
Oh, okay. So it's somebody else's oven.
Probably, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't.
Dropped it.
I don't know. They might have. But anyway, I had to order a new one online. And just because it's about a half-inch difference. But otherwise,
You know
Go
the
ahead.
little plastic cup cover tray that you use in the microwave to
Yeah.
cover your food? Well,
I've seen
now this is totally off topic, and please, guys, don't shoot me in the foot for bringing this up. Okay.
Mm.
All right. They make this thing that it's one of these as seen on TVs where it's a plastic cover, but it's got a little magnet on the top, and it magnetizes to the roof of the microwave, so it's always out of the way. And when you need it, you just pull it down and pop it right up what you need. I saw this thing. I was like, oh my God, this is like sliced bread. You know, this is unbelievable.
Do you know what a magnet can do to a microwave oven while it's operating?
But this is made to go in a microwave.
It's not recommended to put any magnets near an operating microwave oven.
I'm just telling you what it is, okay? I didn't design it. It's supposedly safe to use in a microwave. They've got billions of these out there. So
That doesn't mean it's safe.
It's ceramic and not any kind of metal.
that's right. It's ceramic. There you go.
It's the magnetism itself that can have bad interactions.
Bob, you could do your own research on it and tell us what's wrong with
But
it.
anyway, it's not a bad idea. But
it works.
Microwave is a good way to burn the foil off any old cups you have.
Well,
yeah.
that's a
They have
different
any
matter.
emblems and things like that on them. It makes really nice sparks in their fireworks.
Yeah, that is stuff you should never put in. I'm still settling into my new PC and all the things around it.
You got your NUC working?
I got my what?
Your NUC, you said you bought a NUC to
Yeah, the NUC.
start over
Yeah.
again.
It works, but of course I'm not able to get Linux to use the internal SSD because it's too recent. It's PCI 4. So I'd either have to replace the SSD or else do what I'm doing, put my Linux into an external enclosure. But I've gone over this many times in various CCS meetings.
Right. Did you get that enclosure that works?
Oh yeah, I got the enclosure that works for the trim command. I can probably use the other enclosure for the drive from the old NUC because that's going to be mostly read-only.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for a way to get TPM in a machine that may not have it in it, and I found some YouTube stuff that there are actually TPM chips that are available to be installed in some machines. You have to go back to the manufacturer and find out where the connection point is and how you can install it. But they are available, and they're not terribly expensive. The ones I looked at.
I thought they used to be like $35.
Yeah, I think it was somewhere between 20 and 40 in the 2 or 3 that I looked at.
Okay.
Yeah, now if you're thinking Windows 11 with that, now how are you going to meet the other requirement, which is that it has to be a certain generation of either the AMD or the Intel chips?
Well, there's been some workarounds showing up on some of the sites too for getting past that. So,
and that may put you in the
May or may
position of
not
not
work.
getting updates. You may not get updates.
yeah, that's something they mentioned that you may have to. It said you may be able to get manual updates and not be able to automate them,
Uh,
which is better
Good
for
luck
me
with that.
anyway.
good luck with that.
Yeah. Well, if I get an older machine, it's not a big thing, you know.
Not updating is a big thing with any machine.
Not if you don't hook it up to outside.
Oh yeah, if it doesn't go to
You
the
know, if
internet,
you just
you'll
want to do
probably
it randomly to pick up information short term and then get off again, why it's not on all the time.
No. Actually, things can happen awfully fast.
All right. So is it advice to get a TPM chip? Tim, what do you think?
I still
And
use XP. I still use XP on two of my computers.
Okay.
Okay, anyone else want to add in on this? No. Nobody else bought anything new, right? We've kind of covered this well. I don't think I bought anything new. Shoot, where am I spending my money this month?
Does a piece of plumbing pipe count?
No, piece of plumbing pipe doesn't count, nor does buying another car, or unless it's got whiz bang supercomputer technology in it.
If it
Um,
were if it were a Tesla,
yeah, or a Rivian.
Rivian
Rivian.
Yep.
or Lucid.
Let's see what else is out there. That's those nice new Mach E's. Those are nice.
Somebody I know of has a Chevy Volt.
Oh, it hasn't gone up in flame.
Yeah.
Nope. He's still awaiting. He's got the 2020 model year, so he's still awaiting the replacement battery pack.
They
Okay.
recommended people not put them in the garage too, keep them out.
Well, some people have reported that those Chevy Volts are getting twice the mileage per charge that they are rated as, which is strange.
Yes, it is.
It would probably mean that the batteries are overcharging.
Or they're not being governed the same way. Their software is not governing it the same way.
Yeah. Well, in any event, the battery packs need to be replaced on those.
Yeah. Okay.
right.
I guess we're going to wrap this part up and go into our presentation. Before we start our presentation, I'd like to know, is there any announcements or anything else people would like to make? Like Bert or Tim in regards to filling a hole in the society? Let's go do us. Yes, yes. Oh, the group is, go ahead, take the floor if you want. None. Okay. Okay, so what volunteers are we looking for, Tim? So we need a region director, right? And somebody to be the coordinator of this West Side Club and somebody to take over the website, right? Did I? So we're looking for somebody to take over the West Side Club.
Isn't
That is
Stan
kind of
still,
like sorry,
isn't Stan still technically the West Side leader?
Stan? What does this mean?
Well, I don't think I have the skills necessary, really. I'd be happy to be a name only kind of thing, or just to say hi, but I don't see me being able to contribute much.
Okay. Well, coordinator's job, what is the coordinator's job? Tim, Bert, you guys want to say what the coordinator job is? What's the job description? So that being said, does anyone like to step up the plate and take over this job?
It sounds like Sanford to me.
Remember, Sanford's already got. I'm already running one, and I do open forum for this one. So if I take over being moderator for this, I will not be taking on anything else. Okay? So I'll take over being, coordinator for West Side. However, that will also mean I'm not going to, I'm just laying it out. I'm not going to be doing presentations. I'll be happy to do the open forum and coordinating it from beginning to end, but other people are going to be doing the presentations.
Sounds good to me.
Sounds good to you. Okay, so
Being a Zoom organization, the job of coordination is harder than the coordinator for a sit-down meeting. It is very difficult to provide, and you would think it would be easier to find a speaker who's going to speak from home, okay, in these Zoom meetings. It is not easier. It is harder.
it is.
It is harder.
It is. And it would be thank you, Al. It will be the responsibility of everybody that attends the meetings to chip in. I guess we're going to be doing, unless we got people that have presentations, it's going to be me assigning somebody to do something, whether you like it or not.
Well, perhaps being a Zoom organization, which is where we're headed for, we need to redefine what we're trying to do. I think the definition of the organization changes based upon the venue in which it's presenting itself. And we have not defined this organization at all. We have no bylaws that say we are now a Zoom organization, and these are the kinds of things that we like to do. And this is how we do it. And these are the people that we want to be responsible for things happening. Okay. So we aren't defined yet. So we're trying to find our way, and we really have to take the time to say, what is our organization like today? What is it going to be like tomorrow? And it's fun to come here, and for the first hour we shuck and jive and we talk about whatever, okay? But when it comes down to a presentation, it's hard to find people to really want to make these share screen presentations. It's not easy. And the guys who do it do a great job. Those who step up and say, okay, I'll do it. Sanford did a great job for us. Tim has done a great job for us. Bert's done a great job for us. But it's hard to find people say, I really want to, I'll do it. I'll do it. And you can't just stand up, you can't pat them on the back when they finish and say, hey, you did a great job.
That's right.
Patting somebody through Zoom doesn't feel the same. It just doesn't feel the same. Enough said.
Enough said. Thank you, Al. Yes, Harry, you're volunteering.
No, I'm going to add a comment. That one of the things, I don't know whether anybody's paying attention, but we do have a presence on Facebook, which doesn't require you to be a member of it, that Joe Nowak posts to regularly to keep up with the events and the things that are going on. And I'm just wondering if everybody is paying attention that it's even there, or if he's the only one that really is paying attention.
Maybe a replay of that would work.
Right. Yeah, he also puts most of the events and stuff along with your postings and stuff so that people keep up on when the meetings are being held and stuff, which where you used to go to the website, and a lot of people may or may not be doing that now.
Harry, do you contribute to that Facebook page?
No, I don't.
Could you?
Probably not.
I mean, okay. But you happen to notice what's being posted on there.
Well, mostly because just the last couple of weeks I was looking for some information and I remembered that it was there, and I went to look, and I was really surprised at the amount of information that was there, because it's been some time since I actually looked at it.
Okay.
And I think it's just kind of passed out of everybody's thought process because it isn't advertised in any way on any of our other meetings or anything else.
Okay. Which is a very valid point about the Facebook advertising. Bill, you want to add to this?
Well, I was just wondering if the Facebook page could become the web page.
I see Bert say no.
Our website has become just a repository for archival stuff. There's not much activity, real right now activity going on a website. So the question is, I'm sorry. I understand that, Jerry. I understand that, Tim. But all I'm asking, I'm really asking a question. What does the website do for us today in terms of current information? What does it do?
Well, isn't that what we're trying to? Aren't we trying to get it to the point where it will be doing something positive and will be doing something active?
Bob, it's been so long since it's been active that it's really moot. I don't think people look for it. Though I think people use it to pay their dues annually. Tim uses it to store his FYIs. And beyond that, what else is going on the website? Forgive me. Tell me.
And this is different from what the Facebook page should be doing for us.
Yeah.
The only problem with Facebook is the changes they're going through right now. You really don't know what's going to happen with that page either.
I don't think we're going to end up being hit by the changes in Facebook. We don't do things that are that controversial.
Just a thought.
Okay.
Anyone else want to comment on this? All right, well, we didn't get to, we only got somebody volunteering me, the coordinator. I haven't heard anyone's, I haven't heard Stan saying, okay, well, Sanford, you're the coordinator. I'll be the regional director, Stan.
Yeah, except I can't go to the meetings unless they're online.
They are online.
Well,
As far as I know, they're only online, right? Tim, Bert? Right. So, Stan, therefore you said you,
All right, what's the date now? Second Saturday, you said? Yes. Well, that's a possibility. I could do that. I don't know if I'd be any good at it, but
well, it's a learning position, right? Tim, Bert, maybe you want to fill in Stan and tell him, what does the regional director do? The coordinators, isn't it the coordinators of each of the meetings and the board? So Stan would then want to sit in, if possible, on some portion of each of the of West Side, as well as tips and tricks, or whatever's under what's under his region that he'd be doing. Just West Side, right? So the regional director is going to take, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to step over you, Tim, but the regional director that we're looking for is going to have to be redefined to cover more of the regions than just one chapter. Okay. So Stan, you can you can fire me at any time.
Yeah, right.
You'd become my boss, and you could fire me. So I'm looking forward to getting fired.
Offer him a raise.
So to be clear, are we proposing to move Tips and Traps to the West region from the Northwest region?
No, actually, John Lowry is the regional director for the Northwest region.
Oh, he is. Okay. Well, I think that might be, Bob, you had a good point there. I think, Bob, are you on the board?
Me on the board?
Yeah.
Why would I be on the board?
Well, because the way you poised your question was kind of like a board angle.
Yeah, I wanted to pose it in a way that the board could take this up if they wish.
Okay.
I wanted to pose it as a possible board matter. Because moving a SIG from one region to another officially, would that not require board approval, Bert?
It's based on the region where it's held. And so in Zoom, of course, nothing's held in a particular place, but because it came out of the area, just like at Keating, it came from Hoffman Estates and then moved again. So basically, it's Northwest along with Ed in that region for that TIPS meeting. That's just fact that that was going on a long time ago. And there used to be a second TIPS meeting, which was the Microsoft TIPS that was held in the far north area, Mundelein and Lake Villa. But Bill Ziegler isn't active at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That was basically my question.
Sounds like some structuring and some redoing needs to happen at a board meeting on who's doing what on the regional directors. But that's out of my department.
Yeah.
Sanford?
It's beyond my
taking over this one. Okay, so we filled 2 spots. Yes.
What happens if you move to South Carolina?
Then I become the far southeast region.
Be the remote director.
Yeah. No, actually, South Carolinas are probably out. We were looking at Virginia. That may change with what happened in the last election that happened this week. So now we're thinking back to Delaware.
And I wouldn't be any kind of a coordinator, director, or leader, partly because I'm like 800 miles away.
Oh, don't give you that. You're only a Zoom away. You're a
You're just
photon away.
like that far away, Bob.
Bob,
Yeah, but
like,
let's suppose that the pandemic ends at some point in the future, and CCS is still around, and in-person meetings start up again. What use is somebody who is 800 miles away in coordinating those meetings?
We'll bring you in on a laptop. It doesn't matter. Well, I got a laptop. I can put your face on there. I got no problem with that.
Mhm. There are hybrid technologies that can help to bring remote people in, but especially for sound, hearing what the audience is saying in a hybrid meeting, it's a real pain in the butt trying to set that up.
Metaverse is coming.
What is coming?
Verse,
What?
metaverse is coming.
Metaverse.
Yeah.
Meta, that's Facebook.
No, that's Microsoft also.
No, Facebook is changing their name to Meta.
Yes, but Microsoft is got a metaverse that's underway, under development.
Yeah. And there's another company that claims they already are Meta.
Well, in Microsoft's
Hey,
Anyway,
Ignite, they showed everybody as icons walking around in a room together. And it may be that in 5 years, that'll be how we have meetings.
well, anyway, at the present time, it would be very difficult to be remotely a remote coordinator or director. That's what I was saying.
Okay. So we still are going to be looking for somebody to help with the website, whether it be Tony or Lee Lannert, Aldo, somebody can help with the website. I see these blank looks over here from these people that are blacked out. Lee, are you here? He's ignoring us. I think we could assign Lee Lannert a job, and he would not know that he got volunteered for this position. All right, with this, we're going to run out of time here unless we get jumping on this. We did have
I've got an announcement if you don't mind.
Oh, go ahead, Al. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'd like to invite each of you guys, and you'll see more. You've seen something in writing, you're gonna see more in writing. Invite you out to our Christmas party. This organization has not had a sit-down meeting all year, and this would be a good chance to sit down and the people that you would really like to bring them out to the party and socialize and have some good food. Just spend a couple hours of socializing in person and outside of the Zoom. And you guys that are remote, we can set up a computer in the restaurant, and we can Zoom you guys in at a certain time, so we can talk to you. You can talk to them at the party. So there'll be more. I'm sorry.
How much will our reservations cost?
Wouldn't cost you anything if you're remote. If you're remote, it won't cost you anything. But
thank you.
If you're going to sit down to have a meal, it's going to cost you $35 per person, but the food is good. And there'll be we're looking at trying to acquire some door prizes that won't cost us anything, but there'll be another announcement coming out within a few days. But think hard about it and come out to the party. Well, it's a Southside party. We open the doors to everybody because there has not been a CCS sit-down meeting, and this might be good for everybody.
Thank you, Al. Bill, you want to jump in and do your presentation?
Okay, let me see if I can get to share screen. I don't know how to do this, but we'll see if I can.
You should have screen share. There you go. Wow, look at that.
Are we sharing screen now?
Wow, you got a pretty backdrop.
Are we sharing screen?
We're sharing your desktop.
Yep. Okay, I'm trying to find what I did with the
AAP stocks, better books.
Looks like it's hidden under this ribbon.
Cross Blue Shield, your ankle.
There it is. I got it.
He's got a lot of money on his desktop.
You bet. Yes. Haven't seen anything yet.
EFTs, sector weights. What's a sector weight?
Sectors, stock sectors.
Yeah, weight. But what's they all have a weight?
Well, yeah, they recommend you percentage wise, you put in different amounts in different sectors.
keep track of all these things?
I don't. So anyway, you can see this, right?
Yes.
Okay. So at the last meeting, I talked about Life 360. I mentioned it, and I had given a link to Sanford. So I did a little research since then. Geez, that wasn't long ago, was it? That was Monday. And came up with some personal safety apps that I thought might be valuable. Many of those, there's tons of them out there, both for Android and for Apple. Most of them are free. They kind of come in three categories. Category one basically will contact maybe an emergency number, contact some of your friends that you put in, and it'll show you GPS. Category two gets a little more complicated. It'll call your emergency contacts, give them the GPS, and it might also record audio and video. And contact three is more group plans, where you can see whole families or groups that you put together. So those are kind of the three categories. They all, of course, use local services. So you have to have your services on for local. And if you're on limited data plan, that's going to use a lot of your data. So if you're on unlimited, you don't have to worry about it. I'm on a data plan, so I would have to worry about it. So with that, I'm going to go through some of these, maybe all of them, depending on time, and click on these and look at what's here. Let me shrink this down. So I didn't load or try all of these, obviously, but I read most of the stuff that here is describing. And so Be Safe sounded pretty good. It has an SOS button. It also has audio and video recording as well as GPS. And has another feature that's called Fake Call. And I don't know how you activate it, but once you do, the phone will actually call your own phone, and so you'll get like a call message. So if you wanted to fool somebody into thinking you got a phone call. So that was kind of interesting. Then Holly, that one does audio and video also. One of the features of that is you can actually shake or tap the phone instead of having to go to a place on the phone and tap it with your finger. You can shake it or tap it. And it also will send GPS to your contacts. It's free. If you shake it twice, it sounds an alarm and lights the light on the phone. It has a stealth mode and a deterrent mode. In the stealth mode, it's quiet, no alarm is sounded. And in the deterrent mode, I guess an alarm is. So that sounded kind of neat. There's a Walk Safe, that's the next one. And you'll notice that some of these are iOS and Android, some of them may not be. The Walk Safe one, it identifies bad neighborhoods. If you're in an area you're not familiar with, if you had this on your phone, you could see what areas you might want to avoid when you're walking around. And it has a tap safe feature. So as you're walking, it has two modes. One is called OK, and you have to tap the phone every 30 seconds to check in to make sure that you're okay. The other is called nervous, and you have to check in every 10 seconds on that one. And if you don't check in, it would call your emergency contacts. It also has a feature where it notifies your contacts if you're not home within a certain amount of time. So that sounded kind of interesting. This one I have used in the past. It's called Red Panic Button, and it's very simplistic. But one click will send an emergency message to your contacts that you set up. It'll send a location and a map. That's about it on that one. But that's, if you're looking for something quick and dirty, that might be one you can use. Now, all of these would be beneficial for teenage kids, grandmothers, people with Alzheimer's, that you can track them, and a variety of other situations you probably think of. This one was kind of different. This is for women only. It's called One Scream. And that's basically what it is. It's scream activated. And it sounds a loud alarm for 20 seconds. And it didn't go into how you do it, but if after 20 seconds you haven't acknowledged it, it will call and text your contacts. Life 360 I'll go into in a little bit later. Actually, I have a video on that one. My daughter uses this a lot. And this is a family plan deal. They have a free and a paid version, of course. I'll go into that later. Kite screen. This was those people that still use flip phones. You don't really need a smartphone to use this. You just send a text, and that's all you do with it. And it says, find my device. I'm sorry, that's a different one. But you send a text to it, and you say what time that you're going to be somewhere. And I guess if when your time is up, you need to check in with them. And if you don't, it calls your contacts. So that's people who do not have smartphones. Now, landlines won't work. Haha. There is an Android called Find My Device, but I didn't look into that at all. If anybody has an Android phone, you can look into that. Sanford's not included anymore.
I went to the dark side.
Yeah, I hear you. And then there's some other things in here. Family sharing and Find My. I'll go into this more for an Apple. I have a video on that also. Emergency SOS location tracking. This is a something that when your phone goes dead, it will send your last your GPS location to your contacts. Google Maps, I think we mentioned that. This has a way of sharing your location with whoever you wish through your Google Maps and your contacts book. And WhatsApp, I didn't look into. 3 words. I didn't look into that either at all, except it sounds like that uses a 3x3. I guess that's supposed to be meter grid square and unique 3-word address. Don't know how that works. Okay, that's all there is on this one. So let me close this one. Where is that at? Over here. Nope. There we go. Get that bigger again. This one here. This has 2 things that the other one did not. If I can get there. Come on, why aren't you working?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Is that the one? Yeah, let me see here. Yeah, top, that's it. There's 2 more here that weren't on that other webpage that sounded kind of interesting. The Circle of Friends, Circle of 6, I should say. And let me see here where that is on my notes. Yeah, You can assign 6 friends, and you then they keep track of each other, and you can send them texts to help you if you're in trouble, of course. But it's up to 6. I guess one article I read about this talked about using it in the college with 6 friends. And then the other one on here is, what is that one? Well, let me go back. Oh, the other one, there's a first aid that you can look at. I talked about the rest of these. Here's first aid. Whoops, I didn't mean to click on that. I did. Now, block. And supposedly you can load this in, and it will contact the help people as well as give you tutorials on first aid. And I guess you have to preload that. I gotta get out of that. Now, there's a whole bunch down here that are Android apps only. I didn't look at this at all. Coming up. Oh, I don't want that. How'd that happen? Well, it looks like that's through AT&T somehow. But you can copy this link or look for it on through Google. It's the top 20 Android apps. And I did not look at those, but I listed the link. Now this one here was kind of neat. So we'll go to this one first. And this is a 2-minute video. Oh, come on. Oh, here we go. No, that's you guys. Maybe I'm there. Yeah, here we go. I apologize for the guy. He's not the best presenter, but here we go. It's only 2 minutes, so bear with it.
I get it. Technology companies are the worst. Why should you trust us? We are not a technology company. We are a safety company that uses technology. We need your email because without it, you cannot retrieve your 4-digit PIN code. And without the 4-digit PIN code, you cannot erase any of your videos. We can't, the police can't, nobody. So that's the first step in getting your PIN code and getting back on track. Thank you.
I don't know
when
why
you
he
sign
does
up
this.
for Zier, you'll be asked for your emergency contacts. People you should put in are people that love you and would do anything in the world to help you. Now, when you activate Zier, they will get a live stream of what's going on with you and your location. If they're close, you know that these people are going to try and help you. They stand in for Zier because we don't have a physical presence. And they back up your story so no one can say what happened to you didn't happen. Thanks. Your safe word needs to be secret and something you would only use when you need help.
Yeah, it uses a nice thing about this one. It uses a secret word that the phone will hear. And so, for instance, you could say "one over the rainbow" or something like that, or any other secret word you want, and it will call 911, start recording your video, and gives GPS to your contacts. And the file goes into the cloud, so they can't erase it off the phone.
So you might say moon, stranger, pie, or you might say something that rhymes, but you would never say it otherwise. Now, this should be a secret too, because you don't want somebody with a similar voice as yours using that to activate your phone. And when Zir opens, you know what it does. It live streams emergency contacts, calls 911, saves everything to the cloud. So your secret safe word is very important. That's what makes Zir special.
That's that. So secret words and filing the file to the cloud with a video and audio sounded pretty good. Okay, let's see here, which didn't I do? Okay, now there's a Find My Device is an Android, which I didn't show here, but you can find it on your for your Android phone. It's called Find My Device. Now these last two are groups. You can actually use these with groups rather than individuals. So we'll start with Find My Phone. This is for the Apple. Hello. Try that again. There it is.
With Find My, you can keep track of your Apple devices and supported items, like your keys with an AirTag attached, and share your location with your favorite people. We'll show you how to turn on Find My, how to locate a device or item, and how to share your location. When you sign into iCloud on a new device, Find My turns on automatically. To adjust it, open Settings, tap your name, tap Find My, and tap Find My iPhone. If Find My is set up on your iPhone, your paired Apple Watch, AirPods, and Beats headphones will automatically be set up too. If you turn on Send Last Location, your device sends its location to Apple if its battery is critically low, so you can see its last known location if the battery dies. To help locate a missing device or item, open the Find My app on another device signed in with the same Apple ID, or a device that belongs to a member of your family sharing group. Or you can sign in to iCloud.com/find on any mobile device or desktop browser. To locate a missing item, like an AirTag attached to your keys, tap Items. If you're looking for a missing device, tap Devices. Here, you'll see a list of your devices with Find My enabled and a map with their last known locations. Select a device, then swipe up on the handle to see your options. To help find a nearby device, tap Play Sound. Your device plays a chime, like this. Or you can tap Directions to see it on a map and track it down. If you'd like to receive a notification when you accidentally leave one of your devices behind, you can turn on Notify When Left Behind. If your device is far away or in an unfamiliar location, you can tap Activate under Mark as Lost. This remotely locks your device with its passcode and lets you display a message with your contact information on its screen in case someone finds it. The device must be connected to the internet to activate Lost Mode. Think your device is lost for good? You can erase it remotely by tapping Erase This Device. Once you do this, you can still track your device, and if you do eventually find it, you'll have to restore it from a previously saved backup. You can also use the Find My app to share your location with family and friends. Tap the People tab. Anyone sharing their location with you will be listed here. Tap Share My Location. Choose a contact, and tap Send. Then decide how long to share your location. Your friend gets a notification and can choose to share their location back with you. And that's how to use Find My to keep track of what's most important to you. Stay connected with Find My. For more tips, subscribe to the Apple Support channel or click another video to keep watching. Okay, one tip we want to.
Also on that share, you can share for 1 hour, 1 day, or always. So now this is Life 360. This is a family deal. It's really nice. My daughter uses it a lot, and she keeps track of herself, her husband, and the 2 kids, and she knows where they are, how fast they've been driving, if they're texting while they're driving, and all kinds of things the kids don't like. If they're home, if they're not where they're supposed to be. So we'll click on this one. Well, try it again. There it is. This is 3 minutes.
There are hundreds of Android apps which can be used to track a user's location. But what if you want a tracking solution for your entire family? I'm Nick Gray from Fandroid, and in this video, I'm going to show you how you and your family can keep track of each other's whereabouts with Life 360. Life 360 was developed with the whole family in mind. It will keep track of your kids and show you their location history, but your kids will also be able to see where you are and where you've been. To get started, download and install the app on all of your family's smartphones and set up profiles with everyone's phone numbers, passwords, and names. Adding a profile picture is helpful, but is not required. On your main device, tap Create New Map. This will show you a map of the world. Tap Find Me, and Life 360 will pinpoint your location. Once it has, tap Yes, and the app will give you an invite code. On all the other secondary devices, enter the invite code so that you all share the same map. On your main device, you'll then be asked if you want to receive a notification if someone from your family arrives home. If you do, tap Yes, and you'll be shown a map. Enter the name of your home and then use the search function or simply drag the map around to find your house, and then tap Save. Once you have all of your family's devices set up, Life 360 will track everyone's location and show them on the map. You even get an indication of their device's battery level, which can be helpful. If you want to see where someone has been, tap their name at the bottom of the screen, and you'll be shown their movement history. The free version of Life 360 only shows the past 48 hours, but the $5 monthly subscription keeps track of everyone's movements for 30 days. Our favorite feature within the app is Places. This allows you to set up geofences around the places you and your family visit the most and allows you to receive notifications anytime someone from your family comes or goes. To add a new place, tap Menu and then Places. If you set your home up as a place already, you'll see it here. To add a new one, tap Add Place. Give it a name, search for the address or drag around the map, and then use the sliding bar to adjust the geofence size. When you're happy, hit the Save button at the bottom. Then you'll be able to choose to receive notification when members of your family arrive or leave that specific place. We also like that you can set up multiple groups within Life 360. Your kids can create their own maps to keep track of their friends, or you can set one up for your aging parents or extended family. Life 360 can also be used for emergencies. Add up to 3 different contacts under Help Alerts, and the app will contact them all with a phone call, SMS, or email message containing your phone's last known location with a single button press. There's also a basic messaging service and a list feature for shopping lists or to-dos, but we recommend finding dedicated apps for both of those functions. If you've already used Life 360 or a similar service, let us know in the comments what your experience has been. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and be sure to hit that thumbs up button below.
And this might be a little redundant, but I thought there were some things here that weren't covered in the 3 minute. It's a little bit longer. It's 8-minute video. It's the last one. Okay, there we go. Is the speaker volume okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Parents, do you know what the Life 360 Family Locator app is? Well, my name is Josh Oakes, and I'm with smartsocial.com. I travel the country teaching students how to shine online, how to be safe and smart on the internet. What is the Life 360 Family Locator app? Well, here's what their marketing says. It says, get notified when family members come home. Next, it says, stay connected to those who matter most. See a timeline of locations, trips, and drives. Become a family of better, safer drivers, and keep your family safe on the road. Now, what is this app? Well, the Life 360 Family Locator is a real-time location sharing app. The app uses GPS location data to report the location of users. The app can be used on Android and iOS, so your iPhone. To use the app, everyone installs the app on their device and registers using the system. Then they will appear as an icon on the map, but they have to share their location with you, so not everybody sees it automatically. Users create geofences around their home and other frequently visited destinations to get notified when friends and family come and go from the location. Now, to gain more features, users can sign up for a premium account, which has some really neat stuff. You can see where your kids have been for more than a day, more than a month, and other neat features. Now, what is this app? Well, the app has a built-in panic button, which sends out an emergency message to predetermined emails and phone numbers with the user's location, and it's available for free. Users can message their family through the app. Now, at the end of this, I'm going to give you the chance to talk about Parent University, so please consider forwarding this video onto your superintendent, your principal, or your PTA so we can talk in the end about Parent University. Now, what is this app? Well, with Driver Protect, which is a feature inside of it, users can see if their friends and family are speeding, if they're texting while driving, or if they have been in a car accident. In the event of a car accident, the app calls the user involved to see if they're okay and dispatch emergency services if needed. Now, why should parents care? Well, if your family uses the Life 360 Family Locator app, be aware that your children can start sharing their location with their friends. Location tracking apps can drain batteries quickly, so be careful. This one seems to do an okay job at not draining the battery, though. Some users report that the location tracking data is not always updated in real time. Unlike iPhones, Android devices do not have a built-in location tracking app. So this app, Life 360 Family Locator, can be helpful for families with different devices, basically families that some people have Androids and some have iPhones. This works cross-platform. Location tracking apps show your students' location, which can potentially put them in dangerous situations if they share it with strangers. It doesn't share it with everybody, but if they decide that it's okay to share it with strangers, that could be potentially very bad. Now, here's what the news says. Popular Science says, stop worrying about where your kids are and what they're doing. Life 360 Family Locator shows your family members on a map so you can always keep track of them. USA Today says, grab the Life 360 Family Locator app for keeping tabs on your kids, even when you're not around. With live updates that sync with their smartphones, you'll always know where they are, even if they forget to text you when they arrive. Now, what can parents do? Well, when setting up location sharing apps, restrict who your student can share their location with so that their data isn't public and strangers can't access their location. Discuss why sharing their location with others can be dangerous. Next, before giving them access to a device, create a plan with your children for how often and when they should check in with you when they're not, or when they're out of the house, basically. And that starts with a good dialogue. Android devices don't have this built-in option, as we've talked about before, for tracking phones. However, families with iPhones can use another app for 100% free called Find My iPhone, with families sharing to see where their children are in real time. My family personally has been using the Find My Friend, Find My iPhones feature in the iPhone for years, and we love it. This feature makes it so that you can FaceTime with your family without waiting to see if they're home. You know where they're at. You don't have to bother them. It is terrific. Now let's talk about Parent University. This is a program where I help to train.
Yeah, that's it. I'm not going to talk about Parent University. So anyway, as you can see, there's a lot of reasons to use personal safety trackers. If anybody wants me to go back into any of that, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to stop sharing. 3, 2, 1, 0.
Question.
Question. Whose question?
That's me, Tony. Would these things work if you're overseas in another country?
They're based on a GPS, so I don't know why not. And you know, the internet's over there, so, and it's over here. So unless you're in China or maybe Russia,
Easy now.
you probably could use them.
Interesting.
I have no idea.
Okay, that's all right. Okay.
Bill, do you think there's a difference between like this Life 360 and the Find My Phone application that's built in the iOS, in the Apple?
Well, it seems like Life 360 has a few more features.
Okay.
Although, as that one moderator said, he said he's been using the iPhone app for years and years and loves it. But I know my daughter, they all have iPhones and they use the Life 360 instead. What I don't know, they didn't make it real clear on some of the stuff that might be premium that's not free. And they didn't really make it clear if that $5 a month was per phone, which I think it is.
Okay.
But I'm not sure.
You can do the using the Find My iPhone app. You can share your location with family members, and you could just leave that turned on all the time.
Yep.
In our case, we have our location shared with our children, so they can see when mom and dad are out scurrying around the country and doing things. And then all of a sudden we'll get a phone call or a text message from my daughter saying, "What the hell are you doing in Virginia? I didn't know you were going there." Or, you know, "Why are you in X, whatever state that is," you know?
Yeah, I hear you.
It's, at least they check it once in a while, but
right. I forgot about it. My daughter does use another one. It's a paid app only. But it actually controls their phones. She can shut her phones off, turn them on, and plus other things. I don't know what, because I do know that she pays for that one.
Okay.
I can find out if you're interested.
It's worth it to the group. Feel free to post it when you find out what it is.
I'll find it out.
And send it as a post to us. We'd be happy to learn.
Now, I was going to try, if I can, to send this file. It's a Word document. Should I just copy and paste?
Yeah, you could copy and paste it in the chat.
Let me try that. And it may not include the links, but you'll have the information anyway for the link.
Does anyone here in this group use the iOS Find My Phone app for tracing?
I used that one time and many years ago, surreptitiously. Okay. It did help. I lost it in a theater out in where was that, Bolingbrook, sorry. And I got home, and to my consternation, I didn't have my phone. And I said, "Where the France did I put my phone?" So I fortunately had it connected to my iPad or iPod or something else at the time. And lo and behold, it was there, bam, right in the cinema where I left it.
Right. But they also have in there, you could share your location in your contacts. Not necessarily the Find My Phone app, but it's the share your locations.
Right.
That one, for us that are older now, it doesn't include me. I'm sorry, I'm not in this crowd, right?
Easy boy.
You know, it's a good idea to share your location with your children if you wish them to know where you're at, just for safety and security, because any of us can fall or anything can happen at our ages. So it's not a bad thing to turn on.
Well,
it's not like we have any privacy that we're really worried about. And if you do, turn it off.
The other scam you've heard about, I'm sure, is you go to a funeral or something like that, or so some scammer calls your kid and says there's been an emergency at the hospital. Your folks need money, or we need you to come right away.
Right.
Now they're out of the house. and the house is empty and they ransack the place.
Okay.
So that's another thing that you know it's a scam at that point.
Oh, see, that's a good valid point. Some of us may not want our kids to know where we're at, but others may feel that it's a good idea to have the kids at least have an idea where you're at if you're out and about.
Yeah.
Nothing on Friday night.
Yeah.
My wife and daughters use it all the time to keep track of each other. It's not, they don't bother by it. It's just kind of fun to sometimes see what they're doing or where they're at. Or
Yeah.
That iPhone Find My app, Find My phone.
Find
Yeah.
my phone, yeah.
Harry, is that what they use?
Yeah.
share
you
the locations. I
share
think,
your location in your contacts.
Right.
You could just share your location, and you could say share it for an hour, share it to the end of the day,
Yeah.
or share it until I turn it off, and that's all
Right.
you're doing. And then they want to find where you're at. They can find you easily. It shows your general location on a GPS map, but it doesn't say where you are in your particular house. Of course it's tracking the phone. So
Yeah.
wherever the phone
Sometimes it's pretty close. My daughter will catch us traveling and say, "Oh, are you enjoying your DQ today?"
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
No. Harry, you
That's
hit that
scary.
one right because my son has used that statement a lot.
The Life 360
And he'll
is
suddenly say, "Oh, look, mom and dad are going to blah 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 for dinner today or something."
the Life 360 is pretty accurate most of the time.
Yeah.
The share me on the Apple works pretty good. We can track my daughter on a golf course even. So
Yeah.
Right.
And if you're looking for something dumb, like I say, I used that red button one a long time ago. I used to use a red panic button. I used to use that, and that's dumb and easy. But that's you have to hit the button, and then it gives your GPS to your contacts.
Right.
That's what it does. And a map, I think. So that's all I got, guys. Hopefully
coverage.
somebody will be interested in it.